Good evening. Welcome to our Grand Blanc Township Board meeting for Tuesday, November 26th, and a special welcome to our new board member, Treasurer Mike Yancho.
Thank you.
If we can all rise for the pledge at this time.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Robertson, would you please call the roll?
I'd be happy to call the roll. Trustee Fike.
Here.
Trustee White is absent. Trustee Hugo.
Here.
Trustee Raridan.
Here.
Treasurer Yancho.
Yes, here.
I'm here, of course. Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
6 members present, a quorum.
Thank you. And now I'll entertain a motion for approval of the agenda. Motion by Ms. Hugo, supported by Mr. Fike.
Motion by Hugo, supported by Fike on the agenda. Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Trustee Raridan.
Here, yes.
Treasurer Yancho.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
Thank you. And now we'll open the floor for public comment. Does anybody care to make comment this evening? Okay. Seeing no public comment, we'll bring it back to the board here. And I'll entertain a motion for approval of the consent agenda. Dr. Reardon makes that motion, supported by Mr. Fike.
Okay, on the consent agenda, motion by Raridan, supported by Fike. Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Trustee Raridan.
Yes.
Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Treasurer Yancho.
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
Thank you. Under old business, one of the items that we have coming up, our strategic planning session will be January 13th from 5 to 8 p.m., be a workshop. We'll have Lou Bender in to help guide us through that process.
January what again?
13th. And this meeting will actually probably be more like roles and responsibilities kind of thing. Mr. Lehman, any comments?
Yeah, if you guys recall, at the start of your last term in office, we had Dr. Bender come in as a facilitator, and we did the roles, responsibilities, and expectations. And that was what Dr. Bender was recommending, the same thing. And then we'll circulate the dates out. He gave me 2 dates in March and 1 in April to kick off then the update to the strategic plan. I'll send those out to the board kind of on a round robin and see which ones of those dates might work. They're all Saturdays. We'll do it like we did 4 years ago and just pick a Saturday, and I'll hold that work session for the day for as long as it takes for you guys to create the next plan.
So I think, leading up to that, one thing that'd be good is we all have a copy of the survey that we had performed this past summer. That would probably be helpful to be familiar with that, because I think some of the things that are being said in that, from the public, we probably want to pay attention to. I think most of the items we were keyed into, but it'd be interesting to take a deeper dive into some of it. But this meeting coming up in January will be kind of talking about some of the, some of our informal policies that we've had as a board and agenda items and those types of things. So
I think it will be interesting, Mr. Supervisor, just to see, we'll take the notes that we had from 4 years ago and incorporate those into the meeting and see if the expectations that you guys had 4 years ago when you came together are different now that you've spent 4 years. And then, of course, incorporating Treasurer Yancho in now as part of your team should be interesting.
right. Okay, any questions or concerns with doing that? Okay. Moving on to new business, item A, the board will consider a motion to approve resolution 24-41 to adopt the 2025 DDA budget as adopted by the DDA. Everybody have a chance to look at that? Dr. Reardon, making the motion?
Motion, yeah.
Okay. Supported by Ms. Hugo.
On item 7A, motion by Raridan, supported by Hugo. Trustee,
Any discussion? Ms. Roberts, did you have anything? Okay, all right.
Trustee Fike.
I don't want to get blamed for making the meeting too long.
Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Trustee Raritan.
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Roberts. B, the board will consider a motion to approve Resolution 24-42 for a non-consumer fireworks display to be held at Creasy Bicentennial Park for the tree lighting event on December 6, 2024. Mr. Kimmer.
So, good evening, everyone. Our annual tree lighting event will be held Friday, the 6th, at 6 p.m. out at Creasy Bicentennial Park. Part of that tree lighting event is we typically hold a fireworks display. It's usually 5 to 10 minutes in length. In order to have that fireworks display, we need a resolution passed by the board and a permit issued. So that's what this is about tonight.
Okay. Any questions or concerns? Mr. Fike, you making the motion?
I'm making the motion.
Supported by Ms. Hugo.
Motion by Fike, supported by Hugo. Trustee Raritan.
Yes.
Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Treasurer Yancho.
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item C, the board will consider a motion to approve Resolution 24-43 for the Charter Township of Grand Blanc Board to choose to, quote, opt out of the requirements of PA 152 of 2011 for its current plan year due to the fact that the employees pay 20% of their health care premiums. Mr. Lemata?
We've done this every year, it's going back to 2011. Public Act 152 creates a hard cap. It's adjusted every year, and the hard cap adjusts for inflation every year, and it comes out and it says your municipality absolutely cannot exceed the hard cap, or you can opt out of PA 152, and but you have to make that motion every year that you're going to adopt out of the year prior. Grand Lake Township has opted out of it every time because we do an 80-20 split. Our employees pay 20% of the medical costs. And if you look at when we've calculated before against the hard cap, non-hard cap, it varies. Some years it could be better for us, some years it could be worse for us. But this just makes it very consistent from our employee standpoint that they know that they're going to pay 20%. As you guys know, the cost of healthcare has gone up year after year after year. We experienced nearly a 20% increase this year, so we made some tweaks to the plan, made a higher deductible. And the reason I did that is because to bring it back down to try to keep it below that 20% increase. It's a challenge every year. It gets more challenging every year. But I think as long as you guys are willing to continue to make this resolution that we will opt out of the hard cap. It offers much more consistent, clear information to our employees moving forward and everybody who participates in our healthcare.
Okay. Any questions, comments? Anybody care to make the motion? Okay. Support.
Motion by Fike, supported by
Mr. Yancho.
Raritan. Yancho. Okay, very good. Congratulations, Treasurer Yancho. Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Trustee Raritan.
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
Thank you. Item D, the board will consider a motion to approve Resolution 24-44 to enter into an agreement with the Genesee County Road Commission for the Cook and Embry Road shared use pathway. So, Mr. Lemata?
So this is the agreement, we've been working on this thing for 4 years probably. And this is kind of, we're at the culmination where we need to move it forward. We have to have our agreement. Again, we have received the federal TAP funds. We received the MNRTF $300,000 grant to offset the cost. This agreement is required for the Road Commission, who will actually be the Act 51 agency who accepts those funds on our behalf. They need the agreement from us. It does mean we're committing $500,000 of township capital funds in order to put the project forward. It doesn't mean that we can't continue to seek alternatives to help lower that cost, but it does say that this board is fully committed. We're moving it forward. We're telling the road commission, and they're actually, if you guys approve this tonight, I'm going to get this signed resolution over to them tonight or tomorrow morning, and it will be before the road commissioners next Tuesday evening, I think it is.
Okay. Any questions, concerns?
I would make a motion.
You have a question,
got
Mr.
it.
Pike? Go ahead.
So if we approve this and if they approve it, when would it start construction?
It's, we just had the conversation about having the, we're putting together a proposal on whether the road commission will do it or if we're gonna put it out on bids to have the trees start to be cut now. We have secured all of the easements along except for one remaining. There's some questions we're working through with KinderCare on the corner where the roundabout is on Grand Blanc Road in Embry. We have one more business. It's the storage units along Embry. We have the easement valued at like $7,000 or $8,000, and they want $25,000. So we're still trying to work through that. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to secure that yet. You know, we're trying a couple different tactics to try to get this thing done. It's the only easement that's holding this up. But this is, you know, cut the trees and get the project started. We expect construction starts in 2025 and is completed in 2026.
Pushing back the overpasses on Cook Road would probably be a little bit of work, I would guess.
A tremendous amount of work, but that's, you know, this is a $2 million pathway for 1.3 miles. Sounds crazy that that's how much pathways cost us. You heard a lot about it this year, that we just need to have more pathways and we can do this, but, you know, this is the cost that we're talking about, 1.3 miles. It's over $2 million for this project, and we worked our tails off to secure the funds that we secured to bring our costs down to only $500,000 for a $2 million project. Yeah, a bigger portion of this, obviously, it costs us more money to cut back underneath, you know, the overpasses for I-75. But if you've ever been on Irish Road, I-69, Davison Township, you can see where they did the exact same thing so that trail can go through and be safe to get through it. Usually they make us have a 10-foot wide trail with 2 foot on either side. It's going to go down to, you know, we can only have like 10 feet of space underneath there to make it work. But they've approved that and said, yes, that will fit within the trail needs. We did get our Eagle permits today. Those are signed off and ready to go. So there's so much groundwork that goes into completing this. Like, this is 4 years culmination, and yet 2 more years to build it out before we're starting to ride bicycles down it. But the great news is it connects to our Dorrit Highway pathway. It connects to our Grand Blanc Road pathway. You can ride this thing from Hill Road out at Elga Credit Union all the way to
Genesis,
Henry Ford.
Ascension, Henry Ford, or?
Yeah, whatever they're
Ford
called.
To the
Ascension.
hospital.
Well, that pathway is incredible down there. The permit from Eagle, though, I forget how many pages it is, but the detail with that is just incredible. I don't know if everybody on the board received a copy of that. I don't think they did, but
No.
what I was looking at today, it's like a contract that has probably 6 pages of legal language of things we have to do.
Yeah,
So,
we have to prove that we're being good stewards of the land.
right? Yeah, that'll be incredible. Okay, so does somebody care to make that motion? Ms. Hugo makes the motion,
Motion by Hugo,
supported by Treasurer Yancho.
Yes.
supported by Yancho. Trustee Raridan.
Yes.
Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Treasurer Yancho.
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
Thank you. Item E, the board will consider a motion to approve the compensation for the deputy fire chief, Kent Miracle, of $150 per week to be paid in addition to his current salary for the duties associated with the increased responsibility as interim fire chief. Mr. Limita?
So we asked, and Deputy Fire Chief Miracle has accepted to be the interim fire chief. Obviously, we have precedent on paying for the increased responsibilities of carrying out the office. We did the same thing when we were in between police chiefs. We did the same thing when we were in between DPW directors, where we asked the second in command to step up and do it. Typically, what we offer is a portion of the difference between their current salary and the salary of the most recently vacated chief's position. And that's what we did in this case. I did make it effective with November 1st because really the chief, is out. His last day won't be through to the end of December 31st of 2024. And then he's going to carry on in a consulting role for us for 6 months as we work through the particulars of the new building, which is awesome. And that reminds me, more details to follow. But in January 21st, maybe around there. But there will be we will recognize the outgoing fire chief at that time. But tonight you're being asked to make a motion to approve the additional stipend for Deputy Chief Miracle to perform the duties of the interim fire chief.
Okay, Mr. Fike?
I just have a question. On the same subject, tell us how you will find a new fire chief. What's the process?
So there's a proposal package that goes out. We will let everyone apply through the end of the year because it's just impossible to try to do those interviews during the holiday season. It doesn't work. It makes more sense for us to get the proposal package out. We'll advertise it out all across Michigan, on typical websites, but through the Fire Chief Association, Michigan Township Association, MML, ICMA, we can do basically a nationwide search. Again, very attractive opportunity for folks. Not only have we taken Fire Station number 2 and totally revamped it so it's ready to meet the needs for now and into the future, if and when it becomes a fully staffed station. Station number 1, under construction right now. They'll be moving into it early 2026. State of the art. We've just settled both contracts for both unions for part-time firefighters and our full-time firefighters. It really is an incredible opportunity. Grambling Township's a growing community. I think we're going to have a tremendous amount of interest, and we're going to, have a lot to pick from. I know there are some internal candidates, and we'll see what those external candidates look like. It starts with doing panel interviews. Initially, we'll do some screening interviews at the beginning. We'll have a panel interview to go through the first round of interviews. The second round of interviews will be 2 fire chiefs from other municipalities and myself. We'll go through those panel interviews, see what kind of consensus comes out of that second panel interview, and then that candidate gets brought before the board for the board's approval or rejection.
We eventually approve this for.
Correct.
It's one of the few positions that the board actually has to weigh in on, right?
By law, state statutes for townships, you guys are required to hire police chief, fire chief, director of assessing.
Okay, so anybody have any questions? Mr. Hugo making the motion? Okay,
Motion by Hugo,
supported by Mr. Fike.
supported by Fike. Trustee Fike.
Yes.
Trustee Hugo.
Yes.
Trustee Raridan.
Yes.
Treasurer Yancho.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Supervisor Bennett.
Yes.
6-0. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to board reports, anything to report, Dr. Reardon? Anything, Ms. Hugo? Mr. Treasurer Yancho?
No.
Okay. I thought you
Well,
had something you wanted.
yeah, I will thank the board and the citizens for supporting me in the recent election. I really appreciate it. This is a great opportunity for me, I think, to bring some of my history and other experience to the board. I look forward to serving the citizens of this community. I also want to thank the board for allowing me to attend a educational seminar this past Monday, and I'm on my way to learning some of the intricacies of the treasurer position.
Very good.
Thank you.
We're pleased to have you.
Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Yep.
For sure. Anything, Clerk Robertson?
Nothing to report, sir.
Mr. Fike?
I have one thing from Metro Alliance. On their agenda, they mentioned this Fenton Road roundabout at Baldwin Road. Maybe you all know about it. I didn't know
Yes.
about it. So Fenton and Baldwin, they're gonna put in a roundabout. They said it's
26.
God bless you, $1.2 million and $750,000 from the federal government. So look for that, I guess, coming up in 2026.
Right.
Yeah? Does that sound right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's correct.
Okay. That's all.
What was that figure again?
1.2.
1.2 million is the project to do that estimate.
It's in
And,
Mundy Township.
It's in Mundy Township.
and you said 760,
750, the feds are picking up.
750,000 federal dollars.
But, you know, it's right, it borders us.
Right.
So a lot of our people use that, so FYI.
We kind of, I broke the news because I came out of a meeting
Yeah.
from the road commission, and actually the news media picked up my post that I mentioned it before the road commission got out there with it. But anyways, yeah, everybody's looking forward to another roundabout. I do too, but there's a lot of people who don't, but it'll be good at that intersection because it actually is kind of, I don't know, people complain because there's kind of the road kind of has a big hump there, and if you're going too fast, it almost feels as though you go airborne, right, coming through that intersection. So it'll eliminate that as well.
Are there any Grand Blanc Township intersections that are candidates for roundabouts, do you think, in the future?
No, actually, the road commission hired a study for they looked at all the major intersections in the county,
Yeah.
and we do not have any in the top consideration.
Okay.
So it's kind of strange in that once in a while, somebody posts on social media that, I don't know where they got the diagram from, but a roundabout set up that at Hill, Dort, and Saginaw Street, that it's like one big mess of roundabouts. I have no idea where they came up with this thing, but somebody keeps putting it out there, and it's like, that is not in the plans. So, Mr. Lemata?
At your next meeting, we will be doing the 2024 budget amendments. And so those come before you to moving any of the funds around in between departments or cost centers, any adjustments that we've needed to make throughout the year. And you've got the meeting on December 10th, and then it'll be a abbreviated meeting on the 20th to pay the bills. So 2024 is going by very, very quickly.
Okay. Mr. Laddie?
Nothing to add?
Just a couple of quick things from me. One of the responsibilities, or however you want to phrase it, is that the supervisor has here is appointing various individuals to committees, boards, what have you. We'll work through some others, but I want to first thank Mr. Yancho for his years of service on the Planning Commission. How many years were you on that,
Maybe
Mike?
10,
Were you really?
think so.
Wow. So Mike's been a true asset to our Planning Commission, bringing his background in agriculture and landscape and trees and all that. And unfortunately, we can only have one board member serving on the Planning Commission at a time. And the board member serves as more or less a liaison between our board and the Planning Commission. Ms. Hugo has been serving as our board member that serves on that, and going to ask her to continue on that, but I am going to ask Mr. Yancho to serve on our Zoning Board of Appeals, which is for people that don't necessarily get their way with their Planning Commission, they can appeal to Zoning Board of Appeals. And so I'm going to ask Mr. Yancho. I talked to Mr. White, and I want to thank him for his service on our ZBA, because he has served on our Zoning Board of Appeals for the last 4 years. So we may move around a few others on some committees as well. So But those two, I know that there's a planning commission meeting, I think, next week or something like that, so we wanted to do that. But is there any need to vote on the appointments?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So I would ask that the board approve those and move it forward. So if somebody has a motion that they
We're
would,
doing that this evening?
yes.
Okay, and the motion is on both?
I'm sorry, Mr. Laddie?
So the planning commission, she's still in
Continuing.
term and it's not changing?
Right.
Okay, good. So just the ZBA then?
So just,
You were appointed to the planning commission for a 4-year term because she serves as board.
Because she's at large? Yeah. I think, do them both.
okay.
So the first one would be,
We can do it both in the same if you want.
can we do that?
That works.
Okay. Appointments.
Ms. Hugo will be the board appointed planning commission member.
And Yancho, ZBA.
Right,
So moved.
And we need a motion and support.
right. What was that? I'm sorry.
So moved.
Okay, so moved by
Motion by Raridan,
Reardon, supported by Mr. Fike.
supported by Fike. Trustee Raridan,
Yes.
Trustee Fike,
Yes.
Trustee Hugo,
Yes.
myself, yes. Treasurer Yancho,
Yes.
Supervisor Bennett,
Yes.
6-0, motion passes.
And again, I'd like to thank Mike. I know you love serving on that, and you've been a real asset to it, but
Thank you.
I appreciate your flexibility.
Thank you.
We'll have some other key spots for you.
Looking forward to it.
Okay,
Is there
anything else? Then,
motion to adjourn in order?
I'll make one.
Motion by Bennett, supported by
Support by Ms. Hugo.
Hugo. We are adjourned at 6:29 PM.